At certain times of the year, especially during tomato season, you may be just like me. When you go to the market or the supermarket, you will see that tomatoes are not only cheaper but also much riper and more beautifully red. And precisely because they are cheap and look so good, we often buy more than usual. Then, just a few days later, when we open the refrigerator, the tomatoes start to become soft, wrinkled, some even go bad, and in the end, we have to throw them away. That is truly a pity, because tomatoes are a very good and easy-to-use ingredient, but if we do not know how to take advantage of them, every season we end up wasting quite a lot. That is why today I want to share with you a very gentle way to take advantage of the cheap tomato season, which is making homemade tomato paste that can be used for a long time. You will always have it ready whenever you cook, without needing to buy canned products and without worrying about industrial preservatives. I have been using this method for many years. It is very simple, no oven needed, no complicated equipment, just one pot and familiar ingredients in your kitchen. If you are someone who enjoys cooking slowly, likes preparing food by hand for your family, and cares about long-term health, then I think this method is very suitable for you. First of all, to make truly good and thick tomato paste, choosing the right tomatoes is very important. I usually choose tomatoes that are not too big, with a slightly elongated or oval shape. When you hold them, they should feel firm in your hand, not soft or mushy. Tomatoes like this usually contain less water and have thicker flesh, which makes them very suitable for making tomato paste. You should prioritize naturally ripened tomatoes, evenly red from the outside to the inside, with smooth skin that is firm but not hard, and without bruises or black spots. I do not recommend using very large tomatoes with a lot of water, because when cooked, they release too much liquid, making the paste thin and requiring a long cooking time to thicken. I usually prepare a large bowl of water, add a very small amount of salt and a little baking soda, not much, just enough. The salt in this solution helps clean the surface, loosen dirt, and at the same time creates an environment that is less favorable for some common microorganisms on the tomato skin. That is why, in traditional cooking, many families have long used diluted salt water to wash vegetables and fruits. Baking soda has a different role. It has a mild alkaline property that helps loosen and wash away part of the pesticide residues on the surface, especially those that are loosely attached and water-soluble. When baking soda is combined with salt, this solution cleans tomato skins more effectively than salt water alone, especially when we keep the tomato skins for cooking, as in this paste recipe. I soak the tomatoes for about 5 to 10 minutes, no longer than that. After soaking, a very important step is to rinse them thoroughly under running clean water, gently rubbing each tomato by hand. The running water and this gentle rubbing are what actually remove what has been loosened from the tomato skins. Soaking without rinsing afterward is not enough, so please do not skip this step. However, I also want to reassure you that if you are using completely organic tomatoes, with a clear source and no chemical pesticides, then you do not have to soak them in salt or baking soda. In that case, simply washing them well under running water and gently rubbing the surface is already safe enough for family cooking. When the tomatoes have drained well, I cut them into medium pieces. There is no need to cut them too small because later we will cook them until soft and blend them smooth. Which beautiful country are you watching this video from? Please let me know in the comments. Thank you. Next is garlic. Here you can adjust according to your family's taste. You can use from 1 to 3 cloves of garlic. Garlic not only makes the paste more fragrant, but it is also a natural preservative that has been used for a very long time in traditional cooking. That is why I really like using garlic in preservation recipes like this. Instead of using red bell peppers, I use sweet chili powder, just a small amount. The purpose is to create a beautiful red color and a light aroma. It is not spicy at all, very easy to eat, and suitable for all ages, especially older people. Now I put everything into the pot, including the chopped tomatoes, garlic, and 1 cup of regular water, about 8 ounces. Just a simple pot is enough, no oven or complicated equipment needed. Have you subscribed to my channel yet? Please support me by pressing the subscribe button. I place the pot on the stove and cook on high heat so the tomatoes soften quickly, the garlic cooks, and the ingredients start to blend together. I cook until the tomatoes are almost completely soft, but not too watery, because our goal is to make tomato paste, a concentrated form, not tomato soup. When the tomatoes are soft, I turn off the heat and let the mixture cool for about 10 minutes to make it easier to blend. Then I blend this mixture until completely smooth. If you do not have a blender, don't worry, you can absolutely mash it with a fork. After blending, I strain it through a sieve and use a spoon to gently press to extract the smooth tomato part. I keep the leftover pulp to make another tomato sauce. I never throw it away because it still has a lot of value. Next, I put the strained tomato back into the pot and start cooking to concentrate it. I cook over medium heat and stir regularly so the water slowly evaporates. At this step, I do not add salt, because I want to use this paste for many different dishes and avoid making the food too salty later when seasoning. I add a little sweet chili powder to create color and a light aroma. When you see the mixture starting to thicken, and when you drag a spoon through it and a clear line appears, that means the paste is ready. Remember, after turning off the heat, the paste will continue to thicken a little more, so do not wait until it becomes too thick before stopping. Finally, I transfer the paste into small jars and let it cool completely. Then I pour a thin layer of oil on top. You can use olive oil, corn oil, or canola oil. This oil layer helps block air and, together with the garlic, creates a very effective natural preservation method. When the paste has completely cooled, I put it in the refrigerator. Or you can also divide it into small portions and freeze them. Each time you cook, you just take out the exact amount you need, very convenient. This is how I take advantage of cheap tomato season to make tomato paste for long-term use. It helps save money, avoid waste, and allows me to always be prepared in my kitchen. If you find this method useful, please leave me a comment below and let me know where you are watching this video from. I really enjoy reading your messages. So, with just very familiar ingredients and a few gentle steps, you can take advantage of cheap tomato season to make tomato paste at home, use it for a long time, avoid waste, and always stay prepared in your kitchen. I really like this method because it is not rushed, not complicated, and most importantly, I know exactly what I am eating and what I am using for my family. When you already have a jar of tomato paste in the refrigerator, daily cooking becomes much easier. Just a few spoonfuls can make your dishes richer and more flavorful. If you find this method useful, please leave me a comment below, tell me where you are watching this video from, and also share what dishes you usually use tomato paste for. I really enjoy reading your messages. Thank you for taking the time to watch the video. I wish you good health, peace, and lots of joy in your kitchen. See you again in the next videos on the Merry Home channel.